Welcome to Heal We Grow, the podcast where your journey of enlightenment and self-discovery begins. I'm Kelsey Grace, here to guide you through the realms of spiritual activation and conscious creation. Together, we'll tap into the heart's deepest wisdom, unlocking the transformative power that resides within each of us. In every episode, we'll explore the pathways to a life filled with joy, purpose, and boundless love, proving that the most profound healing comes from within. So whether you're well along your spiritual path or just taking those first tentative steps, you found a place of growth, enlightenment, and heartfelt connection. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's embrace the journey. Welcome to the Heal We Grow family. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Heal We Grow podcast. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I am your host, Kelsey Grace. I am a healer, speaker, and author. My passion lies within guiding you through the depths of shadow integration, unlocking the secrets to manifestation, and activating your purpose so you can fulfill your unique soul mission in this lifetime. And so in this episode, I'm going to share a little bit about my journey, and I've titled it Life is Happening for Me, Not to Me. And as I share my journey, I believe in sharing my own transformations as a gift for others, right? Because one of my biggest values is authenticity. Another one is vulnerability. And I find that the more authentic and vulnerable I share my truth and my experiences, it becomes other people's liberation. And I know through my journey, whether you're brand new or you've been following me for a while, I know through this journey together, I hope that you take some of the lessons that I've learned personally and you can take it into your life, right? I know one of my missions is to be able to ignite the light in as many people as possible. However, in order to expand our light, we have to be able to go into the depths of our darkness, which is why shadow integration is one of my specialties. I am extraordinarily passionate and capable of being able to notice those fragmented parts, those parts that have created a splinter, right, in the personality that can take control of our life at times. And so in my abilities and my spiritual gifts, I'm able to help bring those parts back home and support you in creating the life of your dreams. And so healing and manifesting have a direct correlation. And one thing that has been really popular with my clients is once they heal, they have this awakening of how they want to live their life and how they want to contribute. And I fully believe that each of us has a unique soul mission in this lifetime that we're here to serve in a way that we're meant to contribute. And so I help through healing awaken that calling within you and support you in taking those actions, because sometimes we're living a life that doesn't look anything close to the mission that we're here to serve. And so with a little bit of guidance and a little bit of help, I help break the barriers that hold you back from taking the soul aligned action and then integrating the parts that maybe don't believe in themselves, or the parts that are afraid, or the not enoughness, the anger, whatever it is, right? So I help with all the emotions, and all emotions are welcome here. And before we dive into today's episode, I would love, love, love for us just to drop in for just a moment, just to arrive. And if you can, if you're in a place where you are able to, if you're driving, please keep your eyes open. But if you can, just gently close your eyes and just take a moment to drop into your heart. And take a moment just to bring your awareness to this present moment. Dropping into your heart and see How is your heart today? Is there a heaviness in your heart? Or is there a softness in your heart? Is there something your heart wants to say? Is there something your heart wants to feel? Just tuning inward just for a moment, just to build the awareness of what's happening within. It's so easy to be in this world and disconnect from what's happening in our inner world. So check in, tune in, and let's tap in and turn on the love. Take a deep breath in and a sigh of relief. One more breath in. Sigh of relief out. Good. Go ahead and open your eyes if your eyes were closed. And just already feel the shift in presence as you just connect into your heart, and how just even closing your eyes just to be in this moment, to be here right now, does such wonders in your mind. It does such wonders in your body. And so we'll definitely, and eventually I will also be guiding meditations in this podcast through different series. So you can stay tuned and look forward to that if you love meditations. I definitely guide some pretty powerful transformative meditations. And so, yes, I will be giving those here. So thank you again for tuning in, and it's such an honor. This is one of my dreams, has always been to create a podcast, and the time was just now to really step into expanding my voice in this way. So thank you for listening and tuning in and following my journey. And if you feel called to follow even further, you can follow me on social media at Kelsey Grace Hall. It's all across the board. And to tell you a little bit about me, my spiritual journey, my spiritual awakening began pretty intensely. It started in 2020, but I would say that it really started when I went to my first Tony Robbins event in 2018. I bought my mom and I tickets, and I thought my mom was going downhill. And she had introduced me to Tony, and I was listening to some of his audios and things like that. And so I bought us tickets thinking that it was going to help my mom. However, when I got there, I knew nothing about myself, absolutely nothing. And it was so frustrating because I was answering the questions and I realized how much I was so unaware of who I was, what I wanted, what goals I wanted, what I wanted in life, just all these things, values. Like I just didn't know anything. And so that was a big wake up call for me. And so I ended up getting a Tony Robbins coach that I worked with for several years, for about 2 years, and just worked on rewiring my brain and started in network marketing. And I knew I just wanted more money, more contribution, better health. I wanted more of everything. I just wasn't sure. So I started in network marketing, and that was a great place for me to start with the personal development and developing the confidence skills and putting myself out there and starting to post on social media. And that was just such a great foundation for me. And little did I know that those 2 years of going all in on Tony Robbins. I also went to Date with Destiny that same year. I went to another real estate event and met Tony in person. And he is just as amazing as he is on stage as he is in person. I was pleasantly impressed with even just the presence that he gave me and the amount of time that we had together. And that was one of the best years ever, getting to meet Tony. And just going to as many UPW events as I could and as often as I could, as I financially could, because it really did change my life and everything shifted for me. However, when in 2020, I had an event that changed my life forever. In October of 2020, I was sexually assaulted. And as you can imagine, that transformed and flipped my life upside down. And I remember, I mean, of course, I remember it so clearly, like the days afterwards. At the time, I was drinking pretty heavily. I had stopped doing drugs. I don't even know when. I naturally stopped doing drugs after I found Tony, which was really great. But I was still drinking a lot of alcohol. And that was something that was heavily in my life at the time. But I remember going and asking my coach at the time, which was a different coach, a love coach I was working with. And I was like, hey, I have some shame that I would like to work on with you. And we had a session the following Monday after the assault. And I told her about the experience and how much shame I had around it. And she looked at me and she said, this is considered a sexual assault. And I had no idea. I assumed because I was drinking and I was blacked out and I was unconscious. I saw pictures of myself, but I used to blame myself because I was drinking. But I knew this was not someone I would give the consent to have sex with. So when she told me that was very awakening, and she suggested that I go to the doctor and get that checked out, and we did this exercise to help me heal the shame. And then that brought up child abuse, sexual trauma. So while I was going through the sexual trauma, I awakened to repressed childhood trauma. So you could imagine it was quite an experience of rapid fire of trauma coming up in my body, my system. I decided to go to the doctor, and she also confirmed that it was sexual assault, and she advised me to go to the hospital. And I just, in my mind, was so confused. I was asking, is this really happening? Is this happening to me? Like, I'm a sexual assault victim? Like, this happened to me? My mind was all over the place. And of course, one thing that was really prominent that encouraged me to go to the doctor was that I was in excruciating pain, and I was bleeding, and I had bruises all over my body. Like it was bad. And so I felt in my body that there was something that I really needed to follow suit with what had happened. And so when I got to the hospital, I waited in line, and my mind is racing, and I'm going through just so much shock and so much disbelief. And I'm waiting in line for the lady to call me in. And the lady calls me in, she pulls a chair up, and on the chair had the number 11 on it. And 11 is my favorite number. I constantly see angel numbers. I constantly see 1111. I see those numbers everywhere. And I could just feel the universe with me. I felt that was a confirmation, because I was asking God, is this the right thing for me to do right now? Is this really happening? Do I need to continue investigating this? And that was a confirmation for me, so I could feel that like my angels were with me in that moment. And so I continued forward, and that in itself was a whole process, and talking with the police, and having to tell the experience several times. You can imagine, just in that process, it's a whole thing. Anyways, I get to the room right before I'm going to get the rape exam, and I sit in the chair, and I look around the room, and I see butterflies, I see trees, I see nature, I see like little kid art, and I see the butterflies, and I smile again with tears running down my face, knowing that this is a very pivotal moment in my life. I always see butterflies when I'm in the midst of a grand transformation. Somehow butterflies always reveal themselves to me when I'm in the most transformative pivot in my life. And so I knew that this was something that was going to change my life. As I'm sitting there and I can feel the universe, I can feel just every emotion possible. You can only imagine how much pain this is causing in my system, in my body, in my spirit. And I just kept repeating, life is happening for me. Life is happening for me. Life is happening for me. I don't know how this is happening for me, but God, I have to believe that this is happening for a reason that I just can't see yet. And in that moment, as I'm saying those words and I'm crying and I'm in the worst pain of my life, I had this gift, this blessing drop into my heart that said, you're meant to help people heal. That this pain is now other people's liberation. And in that moment, I saw how this pain was happening for me. And at the time, I didn't know healers existed. But I felt also this burning passion inside of me because I realized that so many people go through experiences like that and have no idea how to heal it, or they shove it down and blame themselves. And I know I've done that many times. This was not the first time I was sexually assaulted, and that was awakening for me. And so I wanted to help people go and get through this pain. And yet I knew that the only way I was going to be able to help others if I embraced the pain that I went through. So it was almost like this grounding energy came over me as I was going through the pain. I felt this thing in my heart that said, you're going to help people heal. You're going to overcome this and you're going to help other people. And this is going to be the pivot moment in your life so that you can transform other people's lives. And now it's 2024 now, and I'm living my pain as the greatest gift of all, and I'm helping other people heal from their pain. And I wouldn't take anything away from my experience to be able to have this the service that I'm able to do now. And so I wanted to really share that journey because I believe that the things that we go through are not really meant to hurt us. I really do believe that. I actually think they're meant to heal us. And over the course of this series and these episodes, I'll be sharing all of the lessons that I have learned over the years that have set me free. That the pain that ripped me open is something I actually consider a blessing. And I know that might be hard to hear, but how can I look back at this and see how much my life has changed and the people that I get to help? How could I judge that as bad? And I'm not saying that I wish that on anybody. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we have a choice on how we get to perceive the things that happen in our life, because you get a choice to be able to see life happening to you, or you can see it happening for you. And when you see it happening for you, you receive the blessings of that experience versus being the victim of your circumstances. And I know if you are here listening in this podcast, that you don't necessarily want to stay in victim consciousness. You're here to raise your consciousness. You're here to see through the light. And it's okay. Victim consciousness is part of the experience. I was a victim before I awakened. But we can collapse the stories and choose meanings that serves us. So whatever pain that you have been through in your life, those are the initiations that crack open the greatness within you. Because when I was sexually assaulted, I stopped drinking. I wrote a book. I moved. I started a business. I'm now a speaker. I've helped thousands of people and counting. I even opened my heart to love and then also ended it. But I ended it because I knew my worth instead of staying in it longer than I needed to. I invested over $200,000 in my spiritual development. That does not include Tony Robbins. Because I believed that investing in my healing was the way that I got to help other people. That if I sharpened my skills and able to be a master of my own transformation, I could help anyone. And so far, so good. And so I shared this part of my journey because this is one of the most pivotal moments in my life. And this is why I am so passionate about healing, because if I can overcome such a trauma and achieve and thrive the way that I have, then so can you. And that's why heal, we grow. It's like healing and growing are the same word, but we heal together. And as we heal together, we grow together. And when one heals, we all heal collectively. And so my intention in these episodes is to share the potent medicine through my own journey, through the things that I learn, to be a roadmap for illumination within you. That the medicine that you seek is actually all inside of you. And that I hope that when you tune into these, you can feel the love that's wrapped in every single word, where this is a message that our souls collectively created before even getting on this episode. I truly believe we're interconnected. If you're listening to this, you're on this for a reason. There's no coincidences. And so I hope with my journey and the lessons I've learned, you can apply them into your life. And as you apply them into your life, you'll start to feel a completely different version of yourself. So everybody just take a nice deep breath in and out. And there's so much more to that journey, of course, but I wanted to share this in the first episode because this is the foundation of what you can expect on these episodes. I share my journey very vulnerably and openly, as you can tell. And I believe that when I'm vulnerable, it gives other people permission to be vulnerable and open as well. With that, can you look at any situation that you might be having a hard time with and see how it is happening for you? Can you see how it might be blessing you, or maybe it's trying to grow your strength or your courage or your resilience? Maybe it's trying to grow your faith. Maybe it's trying to heal you. And when you start to see through that perspective, then you start to gain all of the blessings that this experience is trying to gift you. Whether you believe in God, source, universe, love, yourself, whatever you believe in, I truly believe that the universe loves you so much. The universe wants you to have everything that you want. And so if you're creating something in your life, because we are all creators, then the universe is just trying to reflect back to you. And if it's something you don't like, then you get to change it because you are the creator. You are the reality architect. So you get to decide in every moment what it means. What is the lesson? And the universe loves you so much that anything that is not love, the universe is going to work with your soul to bring up everything that is not love so that you can return back home to love. And that's what one of the biggest things that the assault taught me was that I was buried under self-hatred. I was buried under self-hatred. That's why I was drinking so much. I didn't know that I had this void of pain inside of me that I didn't know I was drinking myself away. And the assault wasn't the first harmful experience, but I had several little wake-up calls before that, and I didn't get it. So God and my soul collectively created this situation to lovingly wake me up. Not to hurt me, but to heal me. You can imagine I was in such a low frequency of self-hatred. And the universe attracts like attracts like. So self-hatred attracted self-hatred. So you can see why something came into my life at such a low frequency of such a pain out of self-hate. Not to hurt either one of us, but to heal us. I know sometimes hearing truths like this can shake up a lot of energy. And so whether this is triggering you or if this is awakening you, my intention is to lovingly awaken you to the truth. And these are truths that have worked for me. And if it doesn't work for you, then that's okay too. But maybe this can plant a seed if you allow it to. And for me, like, these truths resonate with my spirit, with my being. And I feel free because of them. So this is why I share them. But when we shine light on the darkness, it illuminates. And so the self-hatred for me, that experience helped me to come back home to love. And really this life is all about loving who you are, accepting who you are. And when we start to see the beauty in our experiences, we start to remember the truth of who we are. Because in the end, all there ever is love. All there ever is in the end is just love. And that's where you came from. That's what you are. So anything that is not love is a lie. So those beliefs of not being good enough, those beliefs of being afraid, or not being able to do what you think you want to do, none of it's true. None of it's true. But you get to learn from it, and you get to see how it's happening for you so that you can love and accept yourself fully. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I would love to hear any comments, so feel free to follow me on social media. I post this on social media. Any comments that you have about this episode, I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much for being here with me and hearing the wisdom of the universe. Have a blessed day. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you all next time. Heal, we grow. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Heal We Grow. Thank you for joining me, your host, Kelsey Grace, in our journey towards healing and discovery. Remember, every step you take is a step closer to unlocking your boundless potential. Keep in touch for more episodes that inspire and enlighten. Feel free to follow me on social media at Kelsey Grace Hall. And if this episode touched your heart, please share its light with someone who may be in need of this healing magic. Until we meet again, please nurture that beautiful heart of yours, embrace your creative power, and always remember, in the grand tapestry of your existence, your spirit is the most potent medicine. Farewell, and may your journey be blessed with all the love in the world. Blessings.